Can you hear me, Prabhu?
Yes, Krishna.
Okay. Firstly, I would like to offer my respectful obeisances to Guru Maharaj and all of the Vaishnavas here. Thank you, Maharupa Prabhu, for this service. I know that you gave me the service a very, very long time back. But today is the day to carry out this service. I also seek your blessings so that I can do justice to this verse. So this chapter is, the title is The Disappearance of Lord Krishna. For living entities like us, the terminology that is generally used is birth and death. But when it comes to the Lord or to exalted personalities and associates of the Lord, the right way to refer to it is as appearance or as disappearance. Because they are not born. Birth is something that has to do with karma. That's how we are born. But for pure devotees and for the Lord, they appear to fulfill a special purpose. And so the term is appearance and disappearance. And disappearance generally just means that even though they externally seem uh, to have left, it looks like death. It's actually just being away from our vision. So when they finish their purpose, when their purpose is fulfilled and they leave this material world, it is called disappearance. This chapter is related to the disappearance of the Lord after having completed his pastimes on the planet when the Lord goes back to the spiritual world. And this pastime is generally something that devotees are not very fond of discussing because it is a very sad event for most of us. We always look forward to celebrating things like Janmashtami, Narasimha Chaturdashi, Gaura Purnima, but there is no celebration for disappearance of Lord Krishna. Even in the material, when it comes to material people, when it comes to our own lives, we have for disappearance we have a death anniversary or a shraddha, or where there are some ceremonies being conducted. But for the Lord, there is nothing. So his disappearance, it's like we don't really acknowledge it. It's not an event. But in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Janma karma chame divyam. So divyam, meaning that it is transcendental. And anyone who understands that his coming and his pastimes and his leaving are all transcendental. It is not a regular activity. So anyone who understands that will not take birth in this material world again. So he will go back to Godhead. So the disappearance pastime, even though this chapter is called The Disappearance of Lord Krishna, this chapter does not say anything about Lord Krishna's disappearance, because the information about the Lord's actual disappearance is in the 11th canto, chapter number 30. Here, what is happening is just a discussion between Yudhishthira Maharaj and his brother Bhima. And this is happening in Hastinapura, where Yudhishthira Maharaj feels like something bad has happened and maybe Krishna has left the planet. So this whole conversation has nothing to do with Lord Krishna himself. It's just Yudhishthira Maharaj's anxiety on could it have happened. So the chapter begins with Sutta Goswami narrating to the sages that it's now around 35, 40 years since the Battle of Kurukshetra. The Pandavas are still ruling. Parikshit is growing up. And as long as the Lord is on the planet, they also remained on the planet. Because any time that the Lord appears, his associates also come down. It's like his paraphernalia. Everybody comes. So once it so happened that Narada Muni came to Hastinapura and just indicated, he just gave Yudhishthira Maharaj a small hint that Krishna might leave the planet very soon. And Yudhishthira Maharaj sent Arjuna to Dwarka to find out about the Yadus and just to check how they are doing. So Arjuna has already departed, and around 7 or 8 months have passed, and there has been no news from the Yadus. Arjuna has not come back, and nobody knows anything. So Yudhishthira starts to get worried. And this particular chapter, the scene that is happening, is where Yudhishthira Maharaj is thinking to himself and he's thinking out loud to to Bhima. And he's saying, it's been 7 months, Arjuna has still not come back. Could something have happened? There is also another cause for his concern, and it is that he has noticed many inauspicious omens in the kingdom. And by inauspicious omens, he is referring to things like quarreling. The amount of people quarreling has increased, amount of cheating has increased, fighting has increased. People have become more deceitful, they have become more cunning, they have become greedy. People have started doing all sorts of improper activities. And this was a concern for Yudhishthira Maharaj because his kingdom was always known for dharma, it was always known for purity. And then he tells his brother, have you also noticed that there are many natural omens showing that something is wrong? And these kinds of natural omens are things like seasonal irregularities. Seasonal irregularity is where in the rainy season there is no rain, in the summer it is cold, there is thunder and lightning without any real reason, no rain, but still all of these things happen. So these are all inauspicious omens. And Yudhishthira Maharaj is noting these and he's narrating these to his brother. He also knows that when Krishna is on the earth, due to the power of the Lord, the earth was always showing dharma and prosperity, and it was really great. It was a great place to live. So how come when Krishna, if Krishna is still here, how come all these things are happening now? Could Krishna have left this planet? Could that be the reason why adharma is increasing? It is not mentioned here, but in another chapter it is mentioned that as long as Lord Krishna was personally present on the planet, Kali Yuga could not begin. It was unable to begin. That Kali Yuga was meant to begin after the Kurukshetra war. But because, of course, when a new Yuga is beginning, there will be something called as a Sandhya period. It's like a period of transition. But because Lord Krishna was, and we are still in this transition period, by the way, because Lord Krishna was present, Kali Yuga was unable to begin. He just could not come and show his complete influence. So when Yudhishthira Maharaj sees all these symptoms of Kali, which is quarrel, hypocrisy, cheating, he gets very concerned because now the Yadus are fighting among themselves. Obviously, he thinks in Dwapara Yuga, all of these things could not be happening. And then he goes on to describe all the different symptoms, all the omens that he is beginning to see. He says his thighs, his left thighs, his eyes, they're all shaking a little bit. His heart is having palpitations of fear. The jackal is crying even during the day, which normally never happens. The dogs are barking at him without any fear. The cows don't come to him anymore. Horses are just standing there. They look like they're crying. The wind is being very harsh. It's just blowing everywhere. Um, the stars seem to be fighting with each other. So it's like these comets and these kinds of things. So this is nature's way of communicating with us. Nature communicates when there are omens, but we are just not able to recognize them. There's a science called the science of omens, and it's a very deep science. Now, as he was saying all of these things, as he was talking to Bhima, Arjuna comes back. Arjuna enters with his hands folded, and Yudhishthira observes, looks at Arjuna, and he notices that his face looks really crestfallen. His head is hanging down. There are tears flowing down his eyes, and he becomes very worried. Yudhishthira becomes very worried. He understood that if Arjuna is so upset, then something bad must have really happened because Arjuna is not someone who gets disturbed. So Yudhishthira Maharaj does not have the courage to ask Arjuna directly, has Krishna left? It's a very difficult question for him. So he starts off with smaller questions. He asks, how are the Yadus doing? How are the Bhojas? How are the Satvata? How are the Andakas? How is grandfather Surasena? Um, how is Vasudeva and all of his wives? How is everybody? How is Ugrasena, the father of Kamsa? How is Balrama doing? Then he goes on to ask about Krishna's sons. He asks about Pradyumna, Samba, Sushena. He asks about all of them. And slowly he comes to the wives of Krishna. In one of the translations, it mentions Satyabhama. Now, the reason Satyabhama is mentioned because just to please Satyabhama, Krishna goes to Indraloka and asks Indra for the Parijata tree. And then he brings it back and he plants it in Satyabhama's palace in Dwaraka. So all of these pastimes are mentioned. So he's recalling these things and he's asking about each one of them. He's slowly building up the courage to ask about Krishna himself. Um, when he's asking all of these things, Arjuna is still very quiet. He's not speaking anything. So Yudhishthira continues to probe. When he sees that Arjuna is still not saying anything, he thinks, okay, something more serious is wrong. And then he says, you look like you have lost your bodily luster. Why is that? Are you not well? Is something wrong with your health? Or is it that you have done something that is against dharma? So for spiritual personalities, bodily luster or the bodily glow is something that comes with their sadhana and with their tapasya and all of these things, and it just builds. You can just see the effulgence on their faces. So for when Arjuna looks so sad and so dark and so gloomy, Yudhishthira assumes that maybe he has done something wrong, something that he should not have done. So then he asks other questions. He says, has someone insulted you? Have you been defeated by somebody? Has someone threatened you? Did someone ask you for shelter, but you were not able to provide? You are someone who always protects women, cows, old people. Is it that somebody asked you for help and you were not able to help them? Did somebody ask you for charity, but you were not in a position to give? Each of these are all things that are parts of the dharma. So in another way, he is telling us what are the things that could go against dharma, and what are the things that could lead to your loss of luster or your loss of pious activities or pious deeds. Then he mentions, is it that old people and children needed protection and you were not able to provide? Were you having food and did somebody come and ask you for food, but you were not in a position to give? Is that why you're upset? Vedic culture is very sensitive. It says Vasudeva Kutumbakam. So the whole world is your family. And one who is advanced in spiritual knowledge will treat every living entity just like they would treat any other person. So they will not see the difference. Oh, this is an animal, or this is that, or this is this. And Yudhishthira describes all of these things that could have gone wrong. But still, he's not saying anything. Still, Arjuna is not mentioning anything. Finally, he brings up the question: are you sad because your dear friend Krishna has left? And this chapter ends like that. This chapter ends with that question: are you rejected because Krishna has left? And in the next chapter, Arjuna starts answering, and he starts revealing more about what actually happened. So Krishna engineers his appearance, and he also engineers his disappearance. And whatever the Lord does, he does it with a purpose. So the Lord, after establishing religion and Yudhishthira on the throne, um, after having fulfilled all of his purposes, he decided to leave. And when the Lord leaves, he also takes his associates with him. Some people go before him, some people go after him. It's like a theater troupe. So they come to the place, they perform their act, and they leave together. It's like they've booked a show here, the show's over, so they've gone somewhere else. It is said that the Lord goes from universe to universe to universe, and he performs his pastimes in all of these places that he goes to. So it's like a show is booked here, he came, he performed. When it's finished, he moved on to the next show to another city. So somewhere in some universe, at this exact moment, the Lord is performing his pastimes. We just don't know where or how or what he is doing. Hopefully sometime somewhere somebody will write about it and it'll become another Bhagavatam or something. So Shastra also gives the example of the sun. So like right now, if the sun is setting in the US, but here it is bright, it is sunny, and in Australia it is almost time for sunset. So due to our relative position of where we are not able to see the sun. But that does not mean that the sun does not exist. It just means that it is not visible to us. So the Lord continues to perform his leelas from one part to another. We just are not aware of it. And that is the end of the chapter. That is how the chapter ends. And yeah, that's all I have to say about the summary. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Krishna finished very fast. We want to hear more.
There is nothing more in this chapter, Prabhu. This chapter does not have any purports. It only has translations. Because there is nothing much happening.
Yes.
It's a very sad chapter. And I guess there's a reason why it was kept to just translations. Because if there was a purport also, I think it would become too heavy. So I'm assuming that's why Prabhupada did it that way. Because there was nothing more to say. It's just Yudhishthira Maharaj's concern and his anxiety is being revealed. Nothing about the disappearance is shared here.
Correct. Anyway, good job, Krishna. Very nice.
Thank you,
Very
Prabhu.
interesting. Very interesting to. Yeah.
We could able to feel it. We could able to feel it. Your this one wordings, and you have done some research work to trying to read the chapter and understand what is it. Why this? Yeah. Good.
Continuity
Nice.
is good.
Okay.
The continuity is very good. That's why this.
Continuity is good. Exactly. Yeah. That's
Thank
what.
you,
If you read
Prabhu.
it once and then put
This
it,
is called
the continuity will
screenplay.
be there.
Screenplay.
Screenplay. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was like a story. I
Okay.
mean, it's very interesting to hear.
Story. Listen.
Thank you.
Exactly. Yeah.
Krishna, nice.
Good.
Thank you, Mataji.
Haribo, nice, nice, very nice.
Thank you,
Explain.
Prabhu. Thank you. Thank you.
Good. Okay. What's the time now? 11:30. Okay. So you have given me more time now. Fine. Prabhu, can you allow me to share a screen? Okay, since the chapter is disappearance of Lord Krishna, we will try to understand because we understood we all know the appearance of Krishna, right? We know at least a little bit, like parents and all these things. What has happened? He born in the jail and then now he left and all these things. Appearance of Lord Krishna, we know. We have heard many times a story about it. In all the Janmashtami festival, we are hearing it. Okay. But the disappearance of Lord Krishna, we have not heard much. Even I have not heard much. So when the chapter has come about disappearance of Lord Krishna, when I will listen 1 or 2 lectures, in that they have explained about how glorious is the disappearance of Lord Krishna itself. See, everything is glorious of Krishna. So even the disappearance is very, very glorious. Actually, when we are saying Krishna as a Bhaktavatsala, but when you understand the Krishna's disappearance, we can understand how he is very merciful and how he is really the Bhaktavatsala. You know, we know. Okay, what we have understood so far is one hunter came and mistook Krishna's feet as the deer's face or something like that, and then he pushed his arrow and Krishna disappeared, right? So this is what we have understood, or I have understood so far. So what has happened? What has happened to the hunter? Any idea? Jara என்னாச்சு? Jara வந்து என்னாச்சு? ஜராக்கு அதாவது கிருஷ்ணாவை கொன்னானே, what has happened to him? Can you see my screen, Prabhujis? Hare Krishna, can you see my screen?
Yes,
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 Prabhu.
you can see.
Okay. So this is the chapter, what is it? The disappearance of Yadu dynasty. In the disappearance of Yadu dynasty in the 11th canto, they have very nicely explained in few verses about the disappearance of Lord Krishna. This is very important for us to know about it. Okay. In academic point of view or in whatever point of view, if you ask me, the disappearance of Lord Krishna is very important to learn. As we know the appearance of Krishna, we should know the disappearance of Lord, because it's very glorious. It's very glorious. Okay, I will just read few translations to understand where it starts. Yeah. Okay. So, okay, this chapter discuss about the Yadu dynasty disappearance. This Yadu dynasty, they fight each other and then they kill themselves. And then in front of Krishna is seeing himself, his dynasty. Dynasty means everybody, his sons and all these people is entire, what is it? Dwaraka, you know, and that the Yadu dynasty is being one by one, they are fighting each other and they're killing each other and then going. Okay, by seeing this nasty environment, this one, Lord Balarama. Okay, it starts with Lord Balarama, text 26. Loading. Yeah. So this is in the 11th canto, general history, in the chapter 30, the disappearance of the Yadu dynasty, they are mentioned here. Here, I'll just read the translation. See, Lord Balarama then sat down on the shore of the ocean and fixed himself in meditation upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead, merging himself within himself. He gave up this mortal world. You see, they didn't say that mortal body. They said mortal world. Because Lord Balarama, Krishna, Lord Krishna, they don't have the mortal body what we are having it. They're having a divine bodies. So he gave up this mortal world, they are saying. Very nice sentence and words, we have to understand this. So he just gave up by meditating upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead, merging himself within himself. How we can understand this, merging himself within himself? Any idea to understand this?
Hare Krishna.
Why?
What I understand is, you see, the first himself is Balram, And the second himself is Lord, Krishna himself. That is my understanding.
Or Prabhuji,
Okay.
even we can say that Lord Balram is expansion of Lord Krishna. So he's merging with him. That
Hare
also.
It's like
Merging
adding
with-
droplets of water to a glass of water.
Yeah, Hare Krishna,
Okay.
in first canto itself, it's Prabhupada is saying, Balaram, how he went means he brought a big white snake from his mouth, and he sat on that, and he went Vaikunta. He left this planet. In the first canto
Okay.
itself, I was reading. Very big snake. He is Ananda Shesha. Yeah, last. Ananda Shesha, no? So he
Okay.
brought very big white snake. Color also it's written white snake, and he was sat on that, and he went to Vaikunta. That's what I read in
Okay.
first canto.
Okay. Fine. Yes, Mataji, yes. Yeah, that's fine. So, okay. That's what here they mention about Lord Balrama. He just sat down and meditate. That's what, like there are many people, so they leave their body in different ways. Like last chapter we have read Dhritarashtra, how he left the body. He invoked a fire. He has done Ashtanga yoga and invoked the fire Agni in his body, and he left it. Okay, but here the Krishna.
Then Krishna. Nobody saw. Actually, Rama, he was calling everybody, and he went Sarayu Nadi with all Ayodhyavasis. But Krishna, he left his chariot, Ratha. Then after that, Shanga, Chakra, Gada, Padma, all these things, they came a person. Not a symbol, Sangha, Chakra, Gada, Padma, it's not like that. They came a person, and with all this, with the Krishna, they went to Krishna Loka.
Okay,
They came as
fine.
a person, Sangha, Chakra, Gada, Padma. They came as a person, and all these associates, Krishna went to Vaikunta. Only Taruga, the chariot driver, can see Krishna's departure. Nobody saw.
Correct. Yeah, it's going to come up now. Okay, so yeah, we are fine. All of you are very close. Yes, it's a nice understanding, like merging himself within himself. Because what we understood is everything has emanated from the Lord Balrama only. Okay, all the first Chaturvyuga or the second Chaturvyuga, all are expansions of Lord Balram. Okay, so he is merging himself within himself. So he is just going back to his original position of Lord Balram. So he came as a Balram and he went back to as a Balram. So he is just merging himself to the Balram. That is what we can understand in this. And he gave this mortal wood. So this Krishna is watching this Balram leaving this material planet. So what happens next is this 27. Okay, here they mention Lord Krishna, the son of Devaki, having seen the departure of Lord Rama. Here Lord Rama is Lord Balrama. Okay, sat down silently on the ground under nearby Pipala tree. I don't know what is in Tamil. Pipala tree. This is the tree where he was sat down. Okay, so what happens next? This is a very beautiful verse. Mataji, you can read this verse. Oh, it's a big one. அதாவது Krishna's is with ornaments and all these things, they are very nicely, they have glorified in this. Okay, we'll go for the translation. So the Lord was exhibiting. So Krishna sat, okay, after Balrama left, Krishna sat on the tree, and then the Lord was exhibiting his brilliantly effulgent four-armed form. He was a Krishna only with the two-handed form. He just changed into the four-armed form, the radiance of which, just like a smokeless fire, dissipated the darkness in all direction. His complexion was the color of a dark blue cloud, and his effulgence the color of molten gold, and his all auspicious form bore the mark of Srivasa. A beautiful smile graced his lotus face. Locks of dark blue hair adorned his head. His lotus eyes were very attractive, and his shark-shaped earrings glittered. He wore a pair of silken garments, an ornamental belt, the sacred thread, bracelets, and arm ornaments, along with the helmet, the Kaustubha jewel, necklaces, anklets, and other royal emblems encircling his body were flower garlands, and his personal weapons in their embodied forms. As he sat, he held his left foot with its lotus red sole upon his right thigh. No, he knows he's going to disappear, right? Maybe he's just leaving it. So he has just shown his majestic form. Is a four-armed form is always a majestic form here. More than two-handed form. If you want to, okay, Krishna as a two-handed form is like a lovely form. It is, but the four-handed form means he is taking a four-armed form means it's a majestic form. It is okay, like a Vishnu form. It is. So this is how he has just transformed himself in this four-armed form, and then he was just waiting. Okay, and then how he was decorated. And this is all the decoration of the Krishna or Vishnu. How nicely he sat, leaving his, he held his left foot, okay, left foot with its lotus red sole. That means he has not put any chappals, maybe. It's okay, he left his left foot, bare left foot, and then he put it on the, put on his right thigh. Okay, just want this fellow, what is it? The hunter to come and pierce his arrow. So this is a plan. That's what I'm trying to say. This is a plan. Already a set a plan. Okay. So just then, a hunter named Jara, who had approached the place, mistook the Lord's foot for a deer's face. Thinking he had found his prey, Jara pierced the foot with his arrow, which he had fashioned from the remaining iron fragment of Samba's club. I think he got some mystery, I think. From that, from his arrow, he has just put his, shooted his arrow, and then he just struck the Lord Krishna's feet. Okay. After that, what happens? That is the most glorious one. Okay. So what has happened is, then seeing that four-armed personality, the hunter became terrified of the offense he had committed. And he fell down, placing his head upon the feet of the enemy of the demons. See, he has shooted the arrow, but that time he didn't see the Lord's personality. He is sitting as a four-armed majestic form. He is sitting, but he could not see it, you know. And then now after shooting the arrow, it has pierced the Lord's feet, and then it's gone. So all of us so far we have understanding is, okay, is because of the hunter Jara, Krishna has disappeared. No way, come on. We cannot say that. It's all the plan. It is just a Jara got this opportunity to hit it. And then what the gift he has given is, that is the most blissful Krishna it is. Then Jara said, "Oh Lord Madhusudana, I am a most sinful person. I have committed this act out of ignorance. Oh purest Lord, oh Uttama Sloka, please forgive the sinner." He just fell down the feet of Lord Krishna immediately after seeing that he has done this offense. Okay, so he is just going and pleading to Krishna. Oh Lord Vishnu, the learned say that for any man, constant remembrance of you will destroy the darkness of ignorance. Oh Master, I have wronged you. No, he understood. We have to know who is this Jara in the previous birth. Therefore, O Lord of Vaikuntha, please kill the sinful hunter of animals immediately, so he may not again commit such offenses against saintly persons. You know. He just told, please kill me immediately. So I will not do this hereafter anymore. I think now the Bhagavan will speak now. No? Okay, neither Brahma nor his sons headed by Rudra nor any of the great sages who are the masters of the Vedic mantras can understand the function of your mystic power. Because your illusory potency has covered their sight, they remain ignorant of your mystic power works. Therefore, what can I, such a low-born person, possibly say? He's just putting some justification. Many people are doing mistakes. I know, Krishna, that you're a mystic power. Even Brahma sometimes, Rudra sometimes, nobody can understand what I am. I am a simple person, so I have done this mistake. You know, it's just going to the next level of pleading to Krishna. Now the Lord is Bhagavan as Vacha. So the Supreme Personality of God had said, my dear Jara, do not fear. Please get up. What has been done is actually my own desire. With my permission, go now to the abode of the pious, the spiritual world. He is delivering the Jara now. Okay, immediately what happens next is the Vaikunta, from the Vaikunta, the aeroplane is coming and Jara is going on that. So before Krishna goes, he liberating the Jara, who is hunter, who has done this role of disappearance of Lord Krishna. So the rest of the world, they know, okay, hunter has killed Krishna, or hunter has been the reason, and then Krishna has disappeared from this. And before that, he has liberated the Jara. That's what it was so mesmerizing for me actually when I read this for the first time. So instructed by the Supreme Lord Krishna, who assumes his transcendental body by his own will, going back to the spiritual sky. At the time, okay, this is what Mataji was saying. The Dwarka was searching for his master Krishna, and as he neared the place where the Lord was sitting, he perceived the aroma. Then Dwarka will come, and then he will see the witnessing the disappearance of Lord Krishna, just leaving this material world, or the mortal world, or they call it as a mortal world. So that's what, Krishna, how he is Bhaktavatsala, how he is blissful, how he is glorious to even the hunters, even for the person who has done it. And he immediately pleaded, he has done, I've done because of my darkness and ignorance, I have done this. So please forgive me in this. So this is what is time. And I just want to share one more
even
thing.
Prabhuji, even to Pudana, he came.
Yeah.
Even to Pudana, who purposely came to kill him, he gave moksha, no? Even to Pudana.
Yes. Yeah. All the demons, whoever the demons have killed, he has liberated him. Even the Kurukshetra war also, he has been merged to the effulgence of.
Prabhuji, you are saying even Jara was liberated. Jara was actually a reincarnation of Sugriva's brother.
Vali.
Vali. I was just saying the
Vali.
Okay.
So
Vali.
he had killed
Right.
Vali from behind the. It was not that straightforward. No? So Jara was, killing Krishna. Not killing Krishna. The way Rama had killed Vali, same thing, similar way.
Okay. That's
Krishna was telling that, see, I did in previous avatara. Yeah. So that's even I did a small mistake. So because of that, this happened. All this my desire.
The same bow and arrow.
All this my desire.
Everything, even who is that? Who is that?
Gandhari's curse also.
Gandhari.
Curse also.
Gandhari's curse also. Curse also that in front of you are not spared even one son. Okay, so that you will be seeing your dynasty going in front of you. Then only you will understand the pain. So that also he has taken as a curse. So he saw the Yadu's dynasty. So everything is taking Krishna.
All planned.
Okay, I'll share one more. Just one
all
slide.
Krishna's desire, everything is happening.
Somewhere I read this Krishna and Balram, the back to back they stayed, and they with that spring sword. They killed everybody. That Prabhasa Kshetra. There only it happened all these things. Whoever is missed in that way in their inside fighting, they killed everybody.
Correct.
That also the Samba we made, the rishi is cursed, so that the steel will get birth. So in that everybody will Yadu dynasty, whole dynasty is going to die within that. So all this Krishna's arrangement. In this chapter 35 and 36 are explaining about Vaikuntha Loka, but she didn't tell.
Okay. You can see
35, 36 and 37 and all we can just read.
Read, okay.
Very big
Okay, one second,
words.
Mataji. I'll just show this slide. Then you can present the 35, 36, 37. You can see that my slide, this one?
Yeah.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah. Like as Krishna has explained, so I just in one slide we have written this. This is the 10 causes of dejection. You know, what we can understand is like in this material, like what we should be worried about it. You know, so these are the things or which any person has to be worried for this. For example, the first question is, tell me whether you are like another point is, say when somebody comes, what do you say? When somebody is dejected, when somebody is in a bad mood or depressed mood, we should ask all these questions, because these are the real causes of dejection. This is one way of understanding. The another way of understanding is, apart from this, if you are dejected by any other reason, then that is not the real reason of getting dejected. I'm seeing in that way actually. For example, if you see that, okay, first we will read this, then I will tell my understandings, then you can correct if it is right or wrong. So for what is asking, is this due to others disrespecting and neglecting you? Okay, this is also one of the cause of dejection. First is asking whether you are able to, because he is seeing Arjuna is very sad and tears and then very dejected and all these things. So Yudhishthira Maharaja, as a elder brother, he is asking Arjuna the 10 questions. Okay, the first thing is asking about whether your health is all right. And second thing is whether anybody has disrespected you or anybody has neglected you. So this is the real cause of dejection. And then as someone has addressed you too with unfriendly words, see, that is why we give a lots of importance in our devotee circle. You know, whatever you talk, whatever your action and words, it has to be very pleasing. Otherwise, it is going to deject them. It is going to affect them mentally. So as a devotee, as a what do you say? Sadhakas, we have to do this. So if anyone has addressed you with unfriendly words, so this is a caution. And where you not able to give charity you promised to. So this is also another one important one. See, for example, if you have committed any charity, if you have committed or doing something good things, and if you are not able to do it, then it is a real cause of dejection for you. You have to be really worried for that. When you are going to fulfill this, and how keen we are to satisfy the words what we have promised, we have given it. And could you not give protection to the deserving living beings? This is the Kshatriya's the duty. Okay, so you have to protect the living beings, but whether you are not able to give the protection, the dharma, the Kshatriya dharma. Okay, so because Arjuna is coming under Kshatriya dharma, so he is saying whether you have fallen down your dharma. So that is going to give you the dejection. Have you contacted a woman of impeachable character? You know, this also, like that's why, you know, as a devotees, we have to be very careful on this, not to be in touch with this impeachable characters or impeachable this one. So one time what happened, I think in ISKCON Chaupati, they have lots of brahmacharis in Mumbai. Okay, in Mumbai. So in enthusiastic manner, some two brahmanas, they went to the, what is it? The red light area. You know, red light area, they went, and then they started distributing Bhagavad Gita books in that. Okay, they sold many books actually. They sold many books in that area. But when they came back and reported to the seniors, and they were not very happy, the act of what they have done. They said, you're not supposed to go. You're not so strong, or you're just a sadhakas, brahmacharis. You are not supposed to, as an Aishtika brahmachari, you should not go to that area. You should not go and preach to those people. Okay, Gragasthas can go and try it, but you should not do it. You know, so some of the lessons they said you're not supposed to do this, and they stopped them to going this. So have you contacted a woman of impeachable character? No. Have you not properly treated a deserving woman? This is a very important one, you know. So have you not properly treated a deserving woman? So these are lessons learned from us, for us. Okay, if you're not, because all the women surround us, we have to treat them a very, very proper way. Otherwise, you will be getting dejected. You will be in a sad mood, or you're not supposed to do this. Okay, and have you been defeated by someone inferior or equal to you? This is again a Kshatriya quality. So Kshatriya cannot get defeated. The defeat is their death. Defeat is equal to the death. Okay. Have you failed to take care of old men and boys? This is also a very important one. Like parents, our parents. It's our duty. So we have to see why I'm reading this, because if at all these things we should avoid it, because it will lead to the dejection for us. It will lead to the unfamy for us. It will lead to the downfall for us. That is why I'm just reading it. Have you failed to take care of old men and boys? Here they're referring old men as our parents and boys they're referring us as your children. So have you not taken care of them? Have you failed to take care of them? Okay, this and all will lead to the problems. Have you committed some unpardonable mistake? So have you done anything mistake which you're not supposed to do? So he's asking so many questions for the causes of dejection. But for us to understand by reading these verses is these are all things to be avoided at any cost. As a devotee, we should not do this. Otherwise it will lead for us the dejection at this point. So he's saying no to everything. Then finally, Yudhishthira Maharaj is asking. Then he got a doubt. Okay, is it that you are feeling empty for all the time because you might have lost your most intimate friend, Lord Krishna? So if nothing is you have done for so far, then I think that you lost your friend, intimate friend. You're not able to see him, and then you are gone. So that is how we finish this chapter. This one. That's what as our Krishna was mentioning in the beginning. So the last 3-4 chapters, we were enjoying. Like it's like what is a Krishna departing from what is it? Yastinapur, and then he is going to Dwaraka. How they have received it, Parishit's appearance, all these things we were enjoying. Now the last chapter and next chapter and next chapter, it's all a little bit sentimental and then little bit disheartening for us to read it. Anyway, this is the first canto. It's giving an overall picture of the Srimad Bhagavatam, and then this is how it goes. But as always, we focus on what are the learning points we have to take it from each chapter. So that is the most important. That is also one of our reason for our gathering, reason for our this one. So this is the 10 cause of dejection is important, and to know what we can do from this. Okay. Yes, Mataji. You want to read those slokas?
Yes, Prabhuji,
Mataji, you are muted.
No, the Prabhupada is explaining where is that Svetatipa, all these things, Garbhodaka Shai Vishnu, Sri Raghudar Shri Vishnu, all these things Prabhupada is explaining about Vaikuntha Loka. All these things that purport 35,
36
is there.
Correct.
Then one more important thing, 42, text 42, purport 7, mother is there. That's what Prabhupada is explaining. Our own mother, spiritual master's wife, Brahmana's wife, king wife, cow, then தாதிக்கு என்ன சொல்லுவாங்க தாதி செவிலித்தாய்ன்னு சொல்றாங்க அது ஒண்ணு then earth this we should know that's why cow is like our mother. We should not kill. Killing the cow is equal to killing our own mother.
Mother nation.
Brahmana's wife and king wife and spiritual master wife. So then cow, then earth. All these things are. Then who is taking care of the baby? The stepmother is exceptional.
Dadi. Caretaker. Caretaker mother.
Very important. 7 mothers.
At that time, no, the queens are not taking care of it.
Yeah, correct.
So they already for everything they have separate.
Mates.
Like this, Mandrai came to Kaigeyi along with Kaigeyi. Mantra.
Yeah. Mantra,
Here,
yes.
Caretaker for her is a secretary.
in 35, 36 and 37, 37 it's about Satyabhama.
That story about Satyabhama and all this.
Yeah.
Satyabhama. What happened that day? Tulabhara. Parijata Malar. That Rukmani and
எப்படி போய் கொண்டு வந்தாரு.
Yes, got it. Yeah. Okay. Fine. Good. Okay. Anybody wants to add anything? Bala Prabhuji. Who is listening from there? I think all the were there. Our Bhagilakshmi Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Something, Prabhu. It's okay, Prabhu. You want to add something? Disappearance of Lord Krishna.
Illa Prabhu. We want appearance of Lord Krishna only. We don't want disappearance.
Already we are suffering of disappearance.
Today we called for our devotees for morning chanting, 6 to 9 chanting. Everybody chanted 32 rounds today. Okay.
Wow, very good, Prabhu. Very good.
That was chanted, and we just offered the lamp, and we prayed for our Veeramani Prabhu for the soul peaceful. That's why I'm telling people.
Okay.
Purushottam Masa very important. Wherever we get connected, and Lord Krishna disappears only for the book wise, and in our life should not disappear anywhere from our life. We should always keep in the mind. That is very important.
Yes.
Okay. Very nice. That's why I'm telling Prabhu now.
Yes,
How every Friday class is going more than 2 hours. How the people are taking sincerity, pain, and taking. Please, people, take it very sincerely and take this Purushottam last day. Please let us take the opportunity. That's why we called all the people assembled today. Good. Thanks for attending. And we will be able to hear all the Vaishnavas today. Very important.
It's very nice. It's very nice. Different discussion we will get, different deep meaning we will get. So I told Mohan Rupa Prabhu, we will start Bhagavad Gita after this. It's very important. We should be thorough in that. In Bhagavad Gita.
We will do like this, man. Yeah. We will take the overall view on that.
Very nice.
We can understand too.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
Bala Prabhu, அந்த இதுல போடுங்க. என்னது அந்த கூகுள் ஃபார்ம்ல போடுங்க எல்லாரும் கொஞ்சம். Still we are lack of 12,000.
நான் அப்டேட் பண்ணிட்டே இருக்கேன். இன்னைக்கு மக்கள் போடுறது நீங்க அப்டேட் பண்ணிடுங்க.
Yeah, we are also updating. We are also updating, but how much we can do? Bhagavatam also we have to read many classes also. I thought 20 rounds extra. I did 2 days, 3 days, 20 rounds.
Yes.
Then it was very difficult.
12 rounds.
Many classes also.
That's what. Other than only the Guru Ashriya and initiated devotees, they have to put only the extra rounds. Remaining all other people, இப்போ உங்க கூட இருக்காங்கல்ல அவங்க எல்லாருமே வந்து என்ன எத்தனை ரவுண்ட்ஸ் பண்ணாலும் அதை அப்படியே போட்டுடலாம். If they done 10 rounds, 2 rounds, so they can put it. Guru Ashriya initiated candidates. See, that is the class we have put for them. Plus மேல இருக்குதோ அது மட்டும் தான் போடணும்.
Even all other people.
Yeah, Prabhupada Ashriya also they can put the rounds, full rounds.
Okay. Fine, Prabhu.
I think this was a doubt from the beginning from everybody. We are trying to clarify it. Yeah. For the extra rounds, it's only for the Guru Ashriya initiative because that is their commitment. Okay, they have to do 16 rounds finish.